Don. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
It's the year of the not supposed to be Panthers, and the not supposed to be Panthers are not supposed to be tied for the division lead in the NFC South after the Bucs collapse against the New Orleans Saints. Carolina is in full control of their destiny. Can they sweep the Bucs and just take the division because they'll have a tiebreaker? Boy, oh boy, the not supposed to be Panthers have up of 7 players that are really Pro Bowl eligible on this team. It's not supposed to be this fun because it sure as hell hasn't been this fun for a long time. It's Tuesday night, and it's better to be a Panthers fan than it was 2 weeks ago. The Carolina Panthers somehow, some way, win when they're not even on the field. That's right. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast. My name's Tony Dunn. This is my wheelman, Cody Lack. What's good, my brother?
Tony Dunn. My brother, you know there's nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than sitting here with my boys, chopping it up about the Carolina Panthers, baby. Tonight we're going to be talking if the Panthers are a legit playoff contender. Austin Corbett being named the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Panthers. Jaycee Horn is the #1 vote getter amongst all corners in the fan vote online. We have the Saints coming up. We're looking for revenge, and right now they have a top 5 defense in the NFL, and we're looking to know, can we maintain momentum after this bye? But boys, you know we would never do this show without the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know them and love them. We got the Hope Dealer in the building. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Harvey London. David Screws. Vari Johnson. Zachary Clark. And our boy Loud Pack Luke. Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number's 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. You're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast on the interwebs. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, consider being a C3 super fan. Join the party, be a part of the conversation. It's fun hanging out with you guys. It's fun hanging out with CK. Good to see you again.
Man, just happy to be here. Again, I say it week in and week out, talking about the Carolina Panthers, but talking about meaningful football. When is the last time we didn't play during a bye and we felt like we won? And here's the deal, guys. Like, this team is really, everybody laughed at me with me talking about us having to go through Christian McCaffrey and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and maybe even having to go through a Caleb Williams and all of these potential outcomes that we have on the horizon. And people were saying, Coach CK's crazy for saying this and crazy for saying that. Listen, we didn't succeed in beating the 49ers to fully encompass what I was saying was going to happen. But there's still another opportunity coming in the postseason to make that dream come true. And I think going through the likes of the Chicago Bears, going through the likes of the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold, going through the likes of Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield, going through Christian McCaffrey with the 49ers, man, I know it is insane to be talking about this at this stage in the season, but brother, tell me how incredible this story is going to be on a documentary in 10 years when they start to talk about the Carolina Panthers' first Super Bowl win in the history of the entire franchise, and doing it in a way that is so uncommon and unlike anything anybody has ever done in the NFL, and very much like what Panthers tend to do in the expectations that they have going into the seasons they make it to the Super Bowl. This team is a Cinderella story We are destined to make it to the chip here.
Oh my goodness.
Woo-hoo! Let's go.
We have to put it in the bank shirts for CK's calling shots out here.
Put it in the bank.
Tell you what, it's December and Panthers football matters. What the hell? I don't even know. It's not happened.
World.
It's not happened in so long.
Yep.
It's like, holy cow, football is exhausting. I didn't know the season lasted this long.
Some say exhausting. Some might say exhilarating. What a
Exhilarating.
roller coaster ride we've been on, boys. The fact that, we're a win-loss team. And, not to give away the rest of the show, but we are favored to win this matchup against the Saints this Sunday. And, boys, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we win when we're the underdogs. Okay, when we're the favorites, it generally has not turned out good for your boys. So we're going to have to break the streak. And at a moment when everyone is depending on the Panthers to win, when everyone is predicting the Panthers to win, we need to prove them right, go in there and lay our nuts on the head of the New Orleans Saints. Man, this fan base needs that right now.
Tonight's show, the NFC South is wide open. Panthers seize control after Bucs collapse. So, I mean, just a kind of a crazy, wild story out there for you guys. Or I don't know. I've never found myself so well. I mean, I'm sure there's been a moment where I've cared about a division game like this, but I'm rooting for the Saints like crazy. I read a story in the Athletic talking about how Dave Canales tells the players not to get too invested in those things, and he was cheering for the Saints. Xavier Legette's like, what does this mean for us? Well, what it means is we're tied for the division, folks. The first time since 2017. Cody, Lack, let's rock into tonight's show.
Let's do it. Jumping into this show, the Bucs loss gifted Carolina the path to the postseason. This is from Joe Person. It says, in the tie atop the division in December for the first time since 2017, when Newton was in the midst of a 3,300-yard passing season, Ron Rivera was the coach, and the Panthers made the playoffs as a wild card entrant in Richardson's final year as an owner. They haven't been back to the postseason since. Its 7-year absence tied with the Atlanta Falcons for the second longest active drought in the NFL. With their 34-10 loss to Miami on Sunday, the New York Jets extended their playoff drought to 15 years. Boys, we are, like you alluded to, Tony, we are in a position that we literally have not been in since David Tepper has been the owner of the Carolina Panthers. It's truly absurd, but right now there are more stakes on the line for the Panthers than there have been in almost a decade. Man, what a time we live in right now.
The Panthers, Joe Person writes, 7-6 can end their drought without any help by sweeping the Bucs, who visit Charlotte in week 17 before the teams close out their regular season 2 weeks later in Tampa. Even if Carolina were to lose its other two games at New Orleans, at Seattle, at home versus Seattle, and Tampa won its other games, Atlanta and Miami, the Panthers would win the division based on their head-to-head record against the Bucs, which is their first tiebreaker. So go ahead and just do this. Just go ahead and beat the damn Bucs. That's the way to do it. Sweeping a team is tough, but we've done it to the Falcons, splitting with the Saints, hopefully. But really, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard, I think, to sweep the Bucs in a team who's also going to be fighting to win the division. It's not like they're resting players or anything like this. It's not going to be an easy task. But the very fact that it's possible for the Carolina Panthers, where you don't have to, if this happens, that happens, this happens, and play some sort of mental gymnastic math, some algorithm in the background, the Carolina Panthers want to go make the playoffs, they go beat the Bucs. Just go do it.
Hell yeah. I mean, and just to spell that out perfectly clear, right? The Panthers can have this locked up by week 16. If Tampa Bay loses to Atlanta this Thursday night, which, gosh, just like pulling for the Saints was so weird.
I know.
Pulling for the Falcons is also just going to.
But
Bijan.
hold on,
just-
let me ask you a
yeah.
question. Who, if you had to have chosen before last week, who you trusted to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers between the Falcons or the Bucs, or Falcons or the Saints? Who were you picking?
I think I probably would have picked the Saints based on how their defense is playing, as weird as that sounds. But
I think I would have picked I think I picked the Falcons just because I think that they have that Bijan Robinson. If they just do what they can do, like, and just run the ball, the Falcons can absolutely win that game on Thursday night. The Bucs do not look unbeatable. And so I think that Thursday night we could be coming into Sunday with a much more optimistic view about how this game could play out for the Saints, against the Saints rather. So, dude, you're right. If we win the next 3 games, we win New Orleans, we win against the Bucs, and then we win against Seattle. Is it if the Bucs lose to the Falcons, we basically went out, or we won the division?
So if Tampa Bay loses to Atlanta on Thursday, if we beat New Orleans this Sunday, and then if we beat Tampa in week 16, there is nothing that the Bucs can do to change the Panthers from winning the division. Even if the Panthers lost their final 2 games and Tampa won their final 2 games, if we both ended up at 8-6, it wouldn't matter. It would not matter because the Panthers would end up having the tiebreaker.
There's kind of 3 pathways, right? There is the pathway
9-6.
Right? The Panthers sweep the Bucs, right? You get in because no matter what.
No,
right,
there's only an 80% chance if we sweep the Bucs.
Well, because is that you would win the division because you would win the tiebreakers. That's what Joe Person said. So I think if you win those 2 games, if you swept the Bucs, you win. I think you could win, like you said, is you win twice. You split with the Bucs. You win this week against the Saints, and then the Falcons win. So that's like takes a contingent, right, outside of just what the Panthers can do. And I'm guessing too that if Carolina wins 3 in a row and gets to 10, I think that might do it too. So you split with the Bucs, but then you are 10 and what would that be?
Well, right now we're 7-6. So
yeah, so we would be. So if we finish 10-7, I don't think. Well, I guess maybe if the Bucs they couldn't. If they won 3 games, if they won 3 out of their last 4, well, they would finish 10-7 too, right?
Yeah.
And then you would still have the tiebreaker.
Right.
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
end
Actually,
of this
might not there.
The end of this article says even if the Panthers were to lose out and the Bucs were to win from there, a tie at 9-8 would be good enough for the latter, thanks to their prospective records within the division. So we would have a better division record than Tampa Bay. And boys, what's crazy about this? We're not contending for a wild card. Like if we do this, the Panthers are going to have a playoff game in Bank of America Stadium, boys. What? That's fucking insane. And I added this photo right here. This is the playoff picture right now. Boys, what did y'all notice about this playoff picture? Like, what jumps out at you when you look at these teams presented in front of you right here?
They're they're winnable games.
You mean that who you would have to play in the playoffs? Well, I think also, one is you've beat the 2 of the best teams.
That's what I'm saying. The Panthers have a win over the number 1 and number 2 team in the NFL right now, with a chance to get a win over the number 5 team, the current number 4 team, and we've beaten the Dallas Cowboys. So right now we're in better shape than we really could have ever imagined. Again, the consistency is blaring. The Panthers are anything but consistent, and we are favored to win this game. And we normally do not win when the Panthers are favored. However, if we can come away with the W we are pretty much on the fast track to control our destiny into the playoffs for the first time since 2017. That's insane.
It's not also impossible for the Panthers to get a wild card spot either.
Right.
The Lions have to go on the road to play the Rams. So they got them. They've got 2 more division games. They've got the Vikings and the Bears. They're on the road against the Bears. Right. So it's not this is the Lions schedule right here. They're on the road against the Rams. They're at home against the Steelers. They're on the road against the Vikings. They're on the road against the Bears. They got 3 out of 4 games are on the road. There's a chance that they drop 2 of those games.
Yeah.
So the Panthers, I mean, I don't think are completely out of the wild card. I don't think, they're on the outside looking in. The Carolina Panthers really need to win the division, though, man. You win the division, you get a home game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We don't want a wild card spot. We want a home game. Like, the fan base needs it. Just as a team, I feel like we need this, man. But again, we have to earn it, boys. Nothing will be given to us. We have to go out and take this. And, we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show. This bye week has been a perfect time for us because we're in the process of getting healthy. And that's the benefit of those late buys is when you're contending late in the season, it gives you the perfect opportunity to control your own destiny and get your roster as healthy as possible before you play the most meaningful football games of your season. It's awesome for us, man. Couldn't have happened any better.
Let me see this. I saw this. This is the Bears people already crying, and you got one team already whining.
Oh, for the Packers.
Right, that's what it says. It's an absolute joke that the Bears would be a 7 seed at 9-4 while playing in the greatest division in sports. That's what they're saying. While the 7-6 Bucs get a home game for winning a G5 division like the NFC South. Do something, NFL commish.
Dude, they sound like college football fans right now. They sound like Notre Dame fans bitching.
Just would be neat, though, is that the Panthers could be hosting a team like the Seahawks
Seattle,
or the 49ers.
Or the 49ers.
Like
yeah.
Interesting.
Easily.
All right. So the Panthers pathway is there. The pathway to the playoffs is there. One game at a time. Right now, though, they're only a 31% chance to make the playoffs. And I guess right now that people still don't believe that they're going to beat the Bucs.
Why do you think that is? I mean, if you look at Tampa Bay, and I think CK probably agrees with me, this Tampa Bay team is on the decline, I feel like. Like, they continue to choke away games that they're supposed to win. And another relevant factor is that Baker Mayfield's playing injured. I believe his left shoulder is injured, which is the same shoulder he injured in 2019, I believe it was. I forget when it might have been 2021. It was the year after the COVID season, I think. So, or no, it was during the COVID season because they got a playoff game in Cleveland with no fans. So he's hurt that shoulder before. And I just don't know if he's playing his best football right now. I just don't know if that team is up to it.
Yes. Why do you think? I mean, look, this is the betting odds people, right? I mean, or this is actually just statistically modeled, probably. I think really right now is that the Carolina Panthers have been unreliable. I think that's the only answer here is not whether or not like they can match up because they have matched up against some tough comp. You know, I mean, the Panthers have been in games too. Even games that they lost is not. I mean, yeah, there have been a couple of routes, but it looks like you finally have a chance to compete. You know what I'm saying? You got an offense that's finally getting touchdowns and not settling for field goals all the time. You got a defense that has just been far more impressive than anybody expected it to be. But beyond that, also really causing turnovers. this isn't just a Ben not like, remember CK, the defense that everybody flaunted as being so great
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, and we were both on the fool's gold ticket.
I remember.
Is that they held teams to low points because teams didn't have to score a lot. They just ran all over the team, but they weren't getting takeaways. Now the Panthers are not getting sacks, but they are getting turnovers, something that at a rate I haven't seen in a long time. I saw that Jaycee Horn has something like, what has he got, 5 interceptions on the season?
Yeah, I believe he has 5. He was number 1, but I think someone passed him this Sunday.
But he had 5, and this is the most interceptions by a single player on the Panthers since Kurt Coleman had 7 in 2015 or something like that. So I mean, but this defense is not just playing better against the run. They're giving the offense short fields at time. They're creating turnovers. Yep. But I don't think that the Panthers have been reliable yet. Right? As you just don't know. I mean, are you going to go out there and you're going to get a Bryce Young, a running game that's cooking, and a Bryce Young that's threading the needle or making some deep throws or coming off a play action? Or you're going to get a team that has trouble running the ball at times and is turning the ball over on offense. Really, this team it does very well if they just don't turn the ball over. And I mean, that I think is an easy thing for anybody. So I guess that's my answer, is why it's 31%, is that we just don't know how reliable. You think right when the Panthers are catching a momentum point, they lost to the Saints, which, and to go back to CK's point or question, is that if you asked which team do you feel more comfortable or confident in knocking off Tampa, would it be the Saints or Atlanta? And I get your point, but I think that we're almost masked a little bit. I also understand what Cody is saying too. And the Saints is the Saints and the Falcons are not the same teams that they were 6 weeks ago. As the Saints have somehow, they got this rookie quarterback who's taking more shots downfield, who is giving them some life on offense, is running the ball, making some tough plays. It's like one is trending up and one is trending down so poorly with the Falcons. And if the Falcons now 6 weeks ago, think about this, is that the Saints have 3 wins and the Falcons only have 4. And really Kirk Cousins is god awful.
Yeah, but dude, he's been a little bit better than Michael Penix was before he got hurt.
You think so?
But yeah, I feel like they're at least moving the ball more. It was at least competitive against the Jets. It was sort of a back and forth. The Jets. I know, but at least they were moving the ball. I feel like Kyle Pitts has probably come alive a little bit more in their offense in that meantime. But no, listen, the Atlanta Falcons were once upon a time favored to win this division, which I don't know why. It was sort of weird to me. To me, you have to beat the man in order to be the man. Tampa Bay has won the division for so long. To me, it's just, I don't know why anyone would not pick Tampa, but this is an opportunity for the Panthers to really play that dark horse, which is, we've said this for a long time. The best Panthers are a slept-on Panthers. And I feel like that's what we are right now. No one, even that tweet that you just pulled up, Tony, of the dude bitching about the NFC North, he was mentioning completely overrided the Panthers, starts talking about Tampa Bay. Nobody's depending on us to do anything outside of Panther fans. So to me, this is a golden opportunity. But hey, I want to shout some people out real quick. VR the Hope Dealer has been a member for 9 months. Says, imagine the atmosphere if we hosted a playoff game. Bro, that would be absolutely insane. Panther fans need that. We need to make something happen, boys. And just don't care with 5 gifted memberships. Now, that's a man who cares right there, Tony Dunn. I'll tell you that much.
CK, you mentioned that the Falcons can beat the Bucs, though. right? And
Right.
I agree with you. Is you've got Bijan, you've got Algier, who is no schlub either, as another running back. But their defense with AJ Terrell is a lot better in the secondary, and their pass rush is improved so much with the addition of not only free agents but those 2 rookies. I mean, if you get Baker under pressure and you start having to call, look, is he kind of, I won't say crumpled, but it was like, those wins for the Bucs in retrospect, if you go back to some of those close wins that they pulled out, these comebacks, these Baker at the last second, it's hard to win like that every week. And last week was that time. I mean, look, is they really had, again, I mean, you're right there. I mean, the Bucs could have won that game twice, but their offense, they just couldn't get it together. I mean, and that Saints defense was giving them problems up front. So the Carolina Panthers, yeah. So we loved. I mean, man, it's crazy. Pull for the Saints last week. Now we're pulling for the Falcons this week. How the fucking world is this?
Hey, real quick, Will Horsley followed it up and gifted another 10 memberships himself, bro. We appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe, boys. We are growing ever more, trying to get to 7,000 at some point. I believe we're at 6,500 subscribers. Be a friend, man. Tell a friend. Help us grow. Tony, I had this later in the show, but since we were talking about it, Jaycee Horn and how many interceptions he's gotten this year. It's not just Panther fans noticing, although I'm sure Panther fans have a lot to do with this. Jaycee Horn leads all corners amongst Pro Bowl voting. The word is getting around about the Carolina Panthers, at least in terms of Pro Bowl voting. The NFL released the second installment of fan voting results Monday afternoon, and cornerback Jaycee Horn remains the top vote getter at his position. The big difference is that he has a lot more familiar faces around him this week. A week ago, Trevon Moore and running back Rico Dowdle were 7th at their respective positions, and that was the extent of the Panthers' representation. They remain there this week. They have company. But how about this? Panthers are finally getting recognition. Derek Brown, 6th amongst defensive tackles. Rico Dowdle, 7th amongst running backs. Tataroa McMillan, 6th at wide receiver. Trevon Mooring is 7th among strong safeties. And J.J. Jansen, look at our boy, at 10th amongst long snappers. Dude, I don't care what no one says. There aren't 3 long snappers better than J.J. Jansen. I will not hear it.
Why is that? Where is Derek Brown not getting? He should be the top vote getter.
I don't know.
Because he doesn't have enough. Is it? I mean, he's gotten some sacks this year.
Dude, how about this? He leads our team in sacks.
There you go.
Yeah. He literally leads our team in sacks. And I think he has
how can we help
4
this?
or 5. I think that's the most that he's ever gotten in the season. He's already matched his all-time personal best.
How can we help this? Do we just redo our Pro Bowl vote? Like, is it all tweets? Is it just tweets that does it?
I believe so. That's the only way I've ever done it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and work on our weekly Pro Bowl vote for the show to get these guys in here.
Let's do it, man.
All right. What do we got next?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, Tony, this is the perfect time for the Panthers to get healthy. Dave Canales gave an update on Monday. It says they didn't have to. So this is from Panthers.com. With the weekend off, the Panthers appeared to be much healthier on Monday. They didn't have to fill out an injury report and won't until Monday, until this coming Monday, I guess. It said Jaycee Horn and Claude Sherlis remain in concussion protocol, but we're trending in the right direction to play this week. Also, linebacker Christian Roseboom and center Cade Mays back on the field Monday, which were at least non-negative signs. Canales also said they did not expect to open the window for guard Robert Hunt, though he said that could still happen this season. So, boys, this is what I was alluding to earlier. When we saw how late that bye was in the season, I feel like a lot of us were kind of taken aback because it was a really late bye. But look how beneficial this is to us right now when we're getting ready to play a bunch of meaningful division games, namely 3 of them. We have an opportunity to rest and get some of our players back and become the healthiest possible version of the Panthers that we could possibly be. I don't know when we will see Robert Hunt, but if we end up making a playoff push, I definitely hope that we do have him if we do have a game in the bank for the playoffs.
I just saw a story today. Did you guys see? On The Athletic, they had a story about Jonathan Brooks. It's been over a year since his injury. Yeah. Talking about kind of some of the relationship that he's forged with Thomas Davis. Kind of some crazy details that I've never heard before about how they did the repair of his knee. It was just an ACL, which is good news according to the doc, instead of it being like a catastrophic multi-tendon. They took part of his PCL from his other knee, and they took some of his AC band or something from his thigh. I think it's in your thigh, to like grafted it to put it in the other knee. The reason I bring it up is not because of that, but because it also noted that the same guy that did Robert Hunt's surgery is the guy that did Jonathan Brooks' surgery.
Interesting.
Yeah. So getting healthy, do you think this bye was a little too late? I mean, not too late, but I mean, gosh, is like, I'd rather have it now than early. But boy, is it late. This is about as late. This is the last week you can have it, I think.
I'm pretty sure that's right too. Yeah. I asked, Trey Boston does his weekly show with the Panthers on their YouTube and everything. And he always asks fan questions and what have you. So every time I've asked questions, it's made it on the show. But the most recent question I asked was about the bye. I said, being in the NFL yourself, did you find that there was value in an earlier bye or a later bye like this? And, he said, obviously the ideal scenario is to be in the middle of the season, but the difference with what this bye does, like, yes, it makes the season incredibly long there at the beginning, but this allows us to get healthy at the right time, where there's a lot of teams that are struggling. We're seeing Tampa Bay right now still beaten, just getting destroyed by the injury bug. On their offensive line, they didn't have Tristan Wirfs. They lost their left guard in that game. They just were hit hard, similar to how we were hit hard there towards the end of our, in that San Francisco game. And it just felt like they just kept on piling up. And so a bye week happening when it did, I think, is one of the most valuable. That's one of the reasons I feel so confident about what this team is going to be in the next coming few weeks. But I tell you what, man, it's I get the feeling that this team is feeling way better about the fact that we have a late bye than what people are, probably assuming.
Does anybody have problems posting on X right now? It says
Probably.
Something went wrong. Don't fret. Let's give it another shot. Can't post this damn tweet right now. All right. Who do you want? Tell me, Cody, just a little bit more about the injuries and getting healthy. One of the big storylines of the Panthers, I think, has been being able to weather some of these injuries this year.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's not being decimated completely, but you get Horn. We feel good about him coming back, right?
Yeah.
Wait, it says they didn't have to fill out the injury report till Monday, but Canales said Jaycee Horn and Claude remain in concussion protocol.
Right.
But that they were trending in the right direction.
Okay.
So Canales in his press conference said it's huge right now, and we would have loved to have just have had JC and Claude and Trey out there on Sunday. And I've got to give a lot of love to those guys who have had opportunities to come and help us and show what they can do. But we're excited to get all those guys back on the field, and we really just have a strong and to really just have as strong a group as we have had. I mean, listen,
Do you think
Tony,
Cade Mays just steps right back in as a starter, or are they going to stick with Corbett now?
Dude, I think Cade Mays has been the best center that we have on this team all year. I
Okay.
think that he has the best chemistry with Bryce. I think especially early in the year, Corbett was sort of over snapping the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do think that Cade Mays is just built to play this center position.
Young
I
man.
think that,
He's
yeah,
younger.
he's young, strong. He's a big old Southern boy. He's a hunter. You know, the dude's just, I feel like he fits that Carolina culture. And like I said, to me, he has a better relationship with Bryce from under center. I feel like early in the season, like I said earlier, Corbett was snapping the ball really high. Now, to be fair, Corbett has played a lot better, and having him on the team has really been a godsend because he can sort of play guard, he can play center, he can sort of, get in where he fits in. But I think that if I'm having to pick, I think Cade Mays is just the better of the two to be able to play that center position. And if I'm picking, I would prefer him for sure.
Cardi, why don't we go ahead and take a couple calls? Get in here, see what we got. It's
Let's
time
do
for you
that.
guys to be a part of the show. Tell us what you think about the Carolina Panthers and their chances of making the playoffs. Do you feel like not only is it in the table, is it destiny? As in CK was hinting there. The storylines going over this season, so fun. Imagine playing the Bears in the playoffs. That would be awesome in its own, right? Bryce Young. Then you get Sam Darnold. JC, like I tell you, this is if we were talking about not having Jaycee Horn for another week, I'm glad we got the Saints and not the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think that helps. All right, let's get to these cat calls. The number's 252-228-5098.
Let's do it.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in the snow? Who's that kid that can use one?
Tuesday, man.
What's up, man?
Volume up or down, folks.
Baby. Man, it feels so weird saying that. I feel like as a collective, the podcasting community, the Twitter, Panthers Twitter, C3, all of us, we've been through a lot these past 7 years, and I think what we should do is just kind of, however this season ends, I think there's a lot of great things to take away from it. Second year in this rebuild with Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, I think they were even shocked, at least the front office, about how much farther ahead this process to rebuild is, and it only gives you hope next year that they're only going to improve the roster in big ways. So, however the season ends, we'll see. But I'll tell you what, man, it's destiny's right in our hands, man. There's never been a more peak time to take care of the division. I like the mentality these players are talking, how they're talking off this bye week. No more funny business. Like the first time we played the Saints, how no one was prepared, everyone wasn't taking them seriously. And granted, the first Saints game was still, Jimmy fumbled and Bryce threw a pick, and that Olave third down, just a fluky
Right
game.
there.
But man, take care of business this week, man. Get back against the Saints. Let's get to 8-6. Listen, guys, Atlanta loses this Thursday and we win Sunday. The division is ours. We can clinch the division. Okay? We can clinch the division. Week 16 at home. And boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
that atmosphere is going to be electric. But like I said, man, the team's getting healthy. You got Roseboom coming back, JC coming back, Morg's going to be back, Claude Chairless is going to be back, Cade Mays is going to be back, Robert Hunt may be coming back. So, like, the bye week came at a perfect time, man. It's almost like the script writers, the schedule makers knew that it would be Panthers and Bucs competing for the division. But I'm so happy with this team's future outlook. There's still some question marks, but, man, this roster just has a lot more talent than it has in years past. Let's take care of fucking business. Fuck the Saints. We're winning this fucking division.
Fuck 'em.
Anthony from Charlotte. Keep motherfucking pounding, boys.
Yeah. Look, man, Tony, you mentioned earlier how even some of the games that we lost, they were close. Well, that Saints game was close for the majority of the game. So it's like if a couple things go different, that could easily be a W. You could say the same thing for that New Orleans game. To me, they really dropped the ball, no pun intended, against the Saints. This is an opportunity to rectify that, and you have everything on the line. I remember a couple of the players in the locker room, they were asked what they felt about the division rivalry between the Panthers and the Saints, and it's like they didn't really feel like it was one. And a lot of the guys are younger, so they haven't been on this team forever to experience those rivalries between the two teams. But I'm hoping that after losing the way that they did, it lights a fire under their ass to step up and stop New Orleans from playing spoiler, because they're eliminated. That's all they want to do. They want to spoil our good time, just like they did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's up to us to not let them.
Well, I mean, if probably a good thing for us to have that loss when we did. Sometimes a loss at the right time can help, like, focus a team, get them serious. You think about Carolina losing to the Saints, and you had Scorton talking about they had the victory Monday. Like, the team almost was a little it's been twice too. You come off the Green Bay game, you come off that high, and you lose to the Pats the next week, even though the Pats are a really good team. You come off that high against whoever it was, we win, and then you lose to the Saints. I guess it would have been the Falcons, maybe. And you lose to the Saints. Like, is like maybe this team now is like, all right, we can beat teams, but the way we beat teams is by being locked in all week long and not taking anything for granted. I was thinking that the Colts were about to go through this too. And Daniel Jones' injury is really problematic for them. But, they had lost 3 of their last 5 games, but they have been in them all. They lost at the last second to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. And I was thinking that loss would have, and I thought they were going to go on the road and beat Jacksonville. It didn't happen. But, it's like you can fly too close to the sun for too long, maybe. Yeah. And then that loss, you don't want to come in week 1 of the playoffs, right? And so maybe the Panthers that getting that loss against the Saints now says this, like you're saying, Cody, is like you're not taking them for granted. And that the Saints are trying to spoil everything. And they can spoil everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another call. The number's 252-228-5098.
C3 Panther Nation. Tony, CK, Cody, what's up? It's your boy Preston from Hickory.
What up, Preston?
Man, I don't know about y'all. Like, I watched a few games. Of course I'm a football fan, so I watched a few games. I watched, the Bucs lose to the Saints, which is amazing. But it was just boring ass week without our Panthers, man. It was a boring, not that exciting week without our Panthers. But now, hey, here we go again. On to the next. We got the Saints. This is going to be honestly, I think, and I said this the last time, and we lost the game. But I think this time we're going in focused and maybe a little pissed off. And we might just go in there and whoop up on the Saints. Like, Tyler Shuck's looking good. I don't know if they'll have Kamara back this week or not, but I tell you what, I mean, it's Carolina versus everybody. It's the Panthers versus everybody. I don't care, man. I'm rocking with my boys this week.
Let's go.
After what they showed me against LA, I'll take them over anybody. Which, I mean, it's 50-50. We do have a bipolar-ass football team here, but I think after the bye week, a chance to refocus and heal. Hopefully them boys get back out there and show that, you know what, we can hang. We're a fucking playoff team. A squad that doesn't get enough credit, not nearly as much credit as they should, and obviously because of the positions that they play, but our offensive line, I mean, through 13 weeks in different lineups on the offensive line, that is impressive. I mean, 9 times out of 10, the run game is running smoothly. Bryce is able to sit back there in the pocket and make decisions. So our offensive line is amazing. So shout out to those guys, man.
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything to even talk about. Just I haven't called in a few weeks. Wanted to call into Panther Nation, let y'all
Yes,
know
sir.
to keep pounding, as if I have to remind you. But
Keep
y'all,
pounding.
let's go. Let's get a dub this week, boys.
Let's get that dub, boys. I feel like the offensive line has been incredible, especially considering all the injuries that we have had. You know, I mean, even in some of the games where Bryce didn't necessarily play well, it wasn't because the offensive line was trash. You know, the offensive line, how about for 2 years in a row now, the offensive line has been one of the better units of the Carolina Panthers. I 100% agree with Preston. They deserve a ton of credit.
I wonder, should we like Moten be getting Pro Bowl votes? Quana, Pro Bowl votes. K Mays, Pro Bowl votes.
I mean, we're probably talking about paying Icky at the end of this year, aren't we?
Yeah, and I think you're gonna have to pay K Mays too.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have
center
a lot of money.
left tackle money.
Yeah. All right. The number's 252-228-5098. We'll go to the next goal.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Lack, the C3 Legion.
Hope Dealer, what's up?
Everybody? It's the Hope Dealer checking in real quick. Happy Tuesday. I trust and believe that everybody's doing well. Well, number one, tied for first place in the NFC South. How about that, y'all? Man, that feels so good. It's been such a long time. And like we've already been saying, we control our own destiny. How nice is it that we're not one of those teams that have to worry about, oh, but if this team wins in the NFC West, but this team loses in the NFC East, and it could push us out. And, if this team in the NFC, North does this, then that could push us out. Nope. We don't have to worry about that. We know what we got to do. We need to win 3 of the last 4 games. In particular, we need to sweep Tampa. Will it happen? I don't know. I truly don't know. But one thing that I am really just reveling in the fact is that we're here. And it's mid-December, and we're still playing relevant football. That feels so good. And let me just say, y'all, that when it comes to getting free agents here next year, Dan Morgan, he's going to be able to track them in. Shout out to Dan Morgan for a job well done building this team. Anyway, those are my thoughts. This was the Hope Dealer. Love you all. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
All right, keep pounding with these calls.
What's up, C3? It's Kyle from Spartanburg. Man, I was
What's up,
just
Kyle?
calling this Tuesday night. Nothing really crazy, happening. Just wanted to send in a fun call. So I got 2 questions. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds. I'm going to say the answers, but let's see if you guys can pause, pause the call and figure out the answers. But
okay, let's do it.
Who caught Cam Newton's first touchdown pass in the NFL?
Pause.
Steve
Smith.
Yeah, Steve Smith against the Cardinals.
And who caught Bryce Young's first touchdown pass in the NFL?
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen. I mean, that would be the best guess.
Yeah, I believe it was Adam.
All right, those are the guesses. Let's see what we got.
I'm going to wait a few seconds.
Who else could it be other than Adam Thielen, you're thinking?
All right, Bryce Young's first touchdown pass was caught by Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst.
Oh, shout out to
He got
That's
like
right.
amnesia or something.
shout out to Pro
Probably
Code.
half
Yeah,
the
he
season
did
it
get
was bad. I
amnesia.
don't think he's in the NFL anymore. And then Cam Newton's first touchdown pass was caught by the great Steve Smith.
What a game. That was
All
when
right,
you knew that
C3, I hope you all have a good show.
star. Cam Newton.
Keep pounding.
Two of his biggest passing games of his career were weeks 1 and 2, I think, as a rookie.
Yeah. It was Green Bay and Arizona.
Right?
Wasn't it
Fun.
Green Bay.
I know Arizona was one. Was that the opener? Season opener? The Cardinals? And then Green Bay
don't
week
know.
2?
I can't remember.
Fun call there. I like a little trivia every now and then. Take another call. Really, only 3 more calls to go. So if you want to get your call in at 252-228-5098, Panther fans are riding high. Make it 4 calls now. Somebody just got in.
Hey guys, it's Chuck from Elizabeth City giving you guys a call. Hey, listen, just got to really think about things deeply here. You know, New Orleans hasn't won game back to back all year. I wouldn't expect us to have lost to one in Charlotte when we did. Now, every time we have one of these games that we win and look really good, we tend to sit in bed the next week. But it is true we haven't lost back to back games since week 2. We dropped our first 2, and we kind of realized teams totally different than that. But it seems like when we get in a situation like we are right now, we have a chance to ascend and play for something. I'm interested to see if Atlanta can beat Tampa Thursday. Because Tampa, the wheels might be falling off. But I see Tampa maybe winning that game, which means we got a match and we win Sunday. And this is normally where we sit in the bed because it's a game we should win. But instead of always coming up where it seems like we're going to break through and we sit in the bed, things are changing. I think this game is the game that we get to look back on when this team starts a winning record, puts 2 winning records in a row next year. This is a game we're going to look back and say we grew.
Yeah.
Well, it really needs to be.
Because what's been the key word? Inconsistency. We beat teams we have no business beating, and then we lose games that we scratch our heads and wonder why. I think this is a big game for Canales, a big game for Bryce, a big game for our defense, a big game for all our fans. Because if we win this game and go 8-6, table is laid out before us to feast. You know, winning one of the last 3 then would give us a winning record regardless of playoffs. I want this win bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
Been a long time since we got the Christmas season and dreamed about the playoffs, fellas. It's time. Keep pounding. Beat the door down. Let's make this quarterback for the Saints look unnormal.
Pedestrian.
Time for Bryce to really. I want Bryce to have a game like he did against Atlanta in the final game of the season. 5 touchdown affair.
Too bad we can't play Atlanta again.
I want to see the run game flourish. I want to see the pass game flourish. I want to see the defense stifle their offense.
Well, Chuck, great call. Thanks for being part of the show. They're not supposed to be Panthers. They're not supposed to win against the Packers on the road. They're not supposed to win against the Rams, the best team in the NFL. They're not supposed to lose to the Saints. I do think it was coming off the Packers win that we lost to the Saints. I think I said it wrong earlier. That's the thing I think we were talking about earlier with why the 31%, unless that model is just based on purely analytics. But if you're asking why, is it that the Panthers aren't a little bit higher favorites to just win that division? It comes back to that right when you're supposed to get the breakout comes a letdown, or at least that's how it's felt throughout this season. And CK, I mean, going back to I mean, if you think you said a roller coaster ride, or one of you guys said a roller coaster ride, either way, it's been one, is because we've gone from believing that we were getting to be a good team to hating our coach and our quarterback in moments to back in it to not in it. And I was really so mad. My uncle, I told you I saw my uncle, and he said, there's only one time you've been out of control on this podcast this season. And it was like when I was talking all over you guys, I got messages. I was mad. I think I was drunk and mad and upset at Bryce. And not upset because he played so poorly in the game. It's just like I'm just so ready for the believe in Bryce game to where I turn my back to any doubt and I turn my face towards excitement. And I called the shot a little too early against that Saints game, and whatever it was, they were 1-8, so it'd have been week 9 or something like that. Whatever that Saints game, I thought this is going to be Bryce's breakout game where we've found ways to win, where he's been okay, but he's going to have that big passing game, and it's just going to be time, and we're going to be fifth year optioning up and go into the. And it didn't come, and that up and down. I think that's actually why. Even if you can hear, I don't know, is it because of the bye week that we kind of had this tempered conversation where it's like we don't have any really thing? But I feel like even like in the excitement, in the calls, even in our attitudes on the podcast, there is excitement, optimism, but also like this cautiousness that we have. Or at least for me, it's like a cautious. I'm not hesitant. It's not that I don't believe. I really think that this is like the most important football and the most relevant football. I know it in so long, but I'm like, please don't be over. The Panthers go out and drop drop a stinker this week. It's going to be hard for us. I mean, the pathway to the playoffs is still there, but it would be so hard for us to just have that childlike exuberance.
Tony, this is what's been so maddening about the Panthers is that there have been so many moments when we were like, oh, okay, based on what we just saw, there's no reason to not beat this team right now. I'm talking namely about the Saints game and the 49ers game on Monday Night Football. But, Tony, you said jokingly a bit ago, and I understand, I wish we could play the Falcons every week. And I understand that you're joking, but no, I don't want to play the Falcons. I want to play the New Orleans Saints, and I want to beat them like we thought we could the first fucking time. I want to air it out. I want T-Mac to get 2 touchdowns. I want to spread the ball around. I want Mitchell Evans to get some love. I want to pass the ball to Rico and Chuba. Fuck it. Let's get XL a touchdown while we're at it, huh? Like, that's what I want. I want us to do this when it matters the most, when we're supposed to do it, right? We know we can beat the Falcons anytime we play them.
Well, it's Bryce. That's the team that Bryce owns.
Sure.
Kind of like Tua. I just heard that Tua has never lost to the Jets. Or I didn't hear. I know that's true. Like, and then he won this week. He's never lost to the Jets.
Right, but Tony, it's also not just Bryce, it's Dave Canales as well. We need the same consistency of play calling, of the commitment to running the football, which is what he really didn't do enough of against the 49ers. Just put your nose down, run the football. Rico has been your best player all season. Now Chuba Hubbard is finally starting to look like his old self. Just pound the rock. This is super simple. Pound the football. Do what we do best. Use those moments to take shots. And as we're going to show
against the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, as we're going to show here in a minute, this Saints defense, if we're able to run the ball on them, dude, that is a feather on our cap, regardless of what their record is right now.
Yeah.
Chuck asked, was talking about the Falcons being able to beat the Bucs. Right now, the Bucs are 5.5-point home favorites against the Falcons. The Bucs have won 10 each of their last 10 games as favorites following a loss. Right now, this is BetMGM, the guy that wrote this article, said that he thinks the Falcons will cover the 5.5-point spread All right, Tampa Bay will go for a second straight win over the Falcons to open Week 15. On Sunday, the Buccaneers fell outright to 24-20 as an 8.5 point home favorite to the Saints. Did you see that field? That field was a mess, dude, because it was snowing everywhere, but it was in Tampa, and it was just so wet. It was like, crazy. The loss dropped Tampa to 7-6 with only one win in its last 5 games. The Bucs, like you said, falling apart. Atlanta lost on Sunday as big home underdogs, the Seahawks, after starting the season 3-2. The Falcons are 1-7 over the last 8. Cody, let's get back into the show. This Saints defense, though, the defense for the Saints is, when are they ever going to fucking go away? I'm just tired of Cam Jordan. I'm tired of all of this.
I know.
Right now, the Panthers run it on the road. This is great. I mean, well, it's not great because it is and it isn't, right? Like, is the Panthers, like CK said, is like, where are we supposed to win? We win when we're flying under the radar. You guys were talking about and stuff. I was like, for that, I think this is the second time this year that we have been road favorites. Maybe.
Yeah.
So the Panthers, though,
because regardless of what it was later, we opened up as underdogs against the Jets, and then we finished as favorites before the game.
Road favorites there. The Panthers are road favorites for Week 15. The spread is wavered. You can see it we've seen as high as 2 and 3 on FanDuel. Most people have the Panthers at 2.5 point favorites against the Saints. We've seen 1.5 as well. Cody, the Panthers on the road, but I mean, this Saints team is a spoiler.
They are. Well, the matchup is going to be Bryce against this Saints defense, because they have been incredibly stingy. So this is Bryce in the last 5 games. He has a passer rating of 93, 7 touchdowns, including 3 touchdowns in the Week 13 game over the Rams, 4 interceptions. But this is where it gets tricky, because the New Orleans Saints in the last month, their rush EPA against plays allowed and their drop back EPA per plays allowed, they're top 5 in the NFL. I mean, it's the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Texans, the Seahawks, the Jaguars, and the Saints. And they're doing everything very, very well. I don't know why they turned it on late in the year as opposed to why they weren't doing this earlier in the year.
Well, I don't think they were that
defense. I
don't think they were awful in the beginning of the year. As I was listening to some Saints podcasts going into our first match, and they were just so pissed that Kellen Moore, who's an offensive mind, that the defense was playing was the only thing good on the team. So I don't know. I don't think that they have been like, you've been going, oh man, the Saints are fucking, but like now they're actually putting up enough points to where I think you can now notice that the defense has been doing a pretty good job. I mean, look at these teams right here. I think I'm actually surprised here. This passing and rushing, explain this as win probability weeks 10 through 14. Is that what? Oh, so this is just the last 4 weeks. Is that what we're like?
Yes, this is the last month.
Okay. All right. So that's why LA's fell back, because they were good. I guess us, right? It's probably, I mean, and we know why the Texans have been surging. That defense is nothing.
The Texans look like they have the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Them and Seattle to a degree too.
Yeah.
Now also, if you're the New Orleans Saints, so their opposition yards per game from 24 to 25, they went from 30th to 12th. Opposition yards per play, they went from 28th to 11th. Opposition third down percentage, they went from 21st to 9th. And their sack rate, they went from 25th to 8th. So they're better at sacking the quarterbacks than the Panthers are.
Well,
that disgusts me. I really wish that we were better getting after the quarterback. But this Saints team, they're getting home. So shout out to Chuck from Elizabeth City who shouts out that offensive line. Dude, we are going to need this O-line to really step it up in a big way. And that's why I'm hoping that Cade May is back, is healthy, is ready to go, because we're going to need to fire on all cylinders if we're going to compete against this stingy Saints defense.
CK, can we really? I know that you started off with this exuberant destiny, the chip, this type of thing. How do you get there with this pass rush, though? You know, like, I mean, is to bring that up. I saw somebody say DJ Wanham playing like a $30,000 a year player or something like this. Is how do we get there when we're not really getting home at all?
Man, I think that part is
better,
the hardest part.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's that. You hope that they can maybe scheme up some pressures or what have you. We really do need. That's like the biggest, in my opinion, outside of the inconsistencies we've seen from Bryce, in many cases, in our play calling. My number one concern is our lack of a pass rush.
You've been consistent on this too.
Yeah, it's such a problem that it's when you have quarterbacks, like one of the things that you want to be able to do against a quarterback like the Saints have and Shug, right? You want to be able to get pressure. You want to get them uncomfortable in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. And it allows him to have time to throw the ball down the field. And we saw what happened the last go round. Did he light us up? No, but he made big plays in big moments when it mattered most. And he made Jaycee Horn look like he was an average, below average cornerback in that game, if you guys don't remember.
That was the game he fell down twice in, right?
Yeah. It was the game that he gave up 2 big plays and, you know, probably the biggest stain on his season so far this year. So it's going to be I agree with Bubblicious. I will take interceptions over sacks every day, but sacks will also lead to poor decision making by a quarterback, and that's going to lead to those interceptions as well. So I just want to see consistency on this pass rush, because I sit there and I watch games like the Saints game where they were getting pressure against Baker, they were getting pressure on Shug. Like it was just like there were moments where you're just it was overwhelming how much pressure they would get. And when the Panthers rush, unless you throw a blitz in there, we're not getting any pressure. And even if we do, we're just letting the guys slip out of the pocket. Excuse me. So I think that is going to be our biggest hurdle in getting anywhere if we do make it to the playoffs, even getting anywhere beyond the first round. It's going to take some pressure and these guys stepping up in a big way. And who knows, with this bye week coming up, these guys are going to be well rested. Maybe we start to see these guys turn it up, or maybe we see Evero turn it up and do something different than what he's done over the past 2 or 3 years at this point.
I think the Panthers have 19 sacks on the season. Derek Brown leading with 4, Scorton with 3, Ashawn Robinson 2.5. All these are coming from defensive tackles, man. Wallace has 2. Latham Ransom has 2.
But do remember when I told you, man, listen, we need better edge play. But I've said for a long time, I value that interior pressure because it's what collapses the pocket. It's what makes the quarterback move. It's what lets your linebackers flow to the football naturally instead of having to stay in coverage forever. It cuts off the field. Like, that's what interior pressure does, which, everybody was, not to change subjects, but like everybody was clowning on Jerry Jones when he traded away Michael Parsons. And then later they went and got Quentin Williams from the Jets.
Yeah.
And you can make the argument that their defense is better for adding an A+ interior defender rather than just a sack guy who doesn't really defend against the run very well. Whereas that interior pressure basically helps you do both.
I was wrong. I misspoke. Latham Ransom 1 sack on the season, 2 tackles for losses. This is a wild stat right here. Trevon Moehrig has 10 tackle for losses, and he's a safety. I think that's incredible. Tackle for a loss. This guy's hitting people behind the line of scrimmage. All right, Cody, what do we got next?
Yeah, man. So we've already talked a little bit about Jaycee Horn. Oh, how about this, man? How about Austin Corbs? Big Corbs, the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Carolina Panthers. You know, this is really cool. Every year, every team makes their nomination. And this year, Austin Corbett was ours. And he had a really cool way of finding out he was the Man of the Year. I'll go ahead and pull that up. Thought I saved it. Give me one sec, Tony.
Austin Corbett. Been with the team what now? Is this his third or fourth season? Struggled with injuries throughout the time. The Panthers like to do the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee to the center. I think one of the last ones I remember, I think is it Brady or Bradley Bozeman? I think he was one year for us. I saw him in that crazy game with the Chargers, just looking like a bum. Sorry, Bose.
No, he did.
He did not look good. I also saw another thing is that Jalen Hurts, who had a horrendous game, is the only quarterback in football history to turn over the ball twice in the same play. He threw an interception, then recovered a fumble, and then fumbled it all in the same play. Here's Austin Corbett, Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Carolina Panthers, learning that he had been selected to represent the team in this prestigious honor.
Morning. Have we got a show for you today? First of all, we got a special video. Let's check it out.
Hey, Austin. Hey, Austin. It's James and Robert here from Metallica. Austin, we know that you are a leader in the locker room as well as in your community. And aside from everything you're doing for All Within My Hands, you've also done so much for service members, youth, high school football programs, and families with children who have life-altering disabilities.
Which is why we're excited to tell you,
you are the Carolina Panthers 2025 NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee.
So this is just like the Pro Bowl vote, y'all. Y'all got to go and vote for Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee recipient, Austin Corbett. And I will tell y'all how to do so. You go on Twitter and you do # WPMOY challenge, and then you at their Twitter profile. So at Big Corbs 73 to vote. Get out there and show some love, man. This is the time of year when Panther fans really get to show their fandom and show how much they care about what these guys do in the community. It's certainly a big deal. So yeah, man, get out there, show Austin Corbett some love, and here I'll put up the tweet so that way everyone can see exactly what we're looking at here. There it is, Walter Payton Man of the Year challenge plus @ Big Corbs. Yeah, man, this is really cool. And Tony, just like you were saying earlier, that we need to really show some love to Derek Brown, get him in the Pro Bowl after he so deserves it. Man, this is another really cool thing that Panthers can do. Austin Corbett, ever since he's been here, he's been doing a lot of stuff like this, doing toy drives, doing similar work to some stuff that I do with the Friends Foundation. Not the Friends Foundation specifically, but he does a lot of stuff like this. He's a really cool guy, and he's been through a lot, man. Remember, he's torn his ACL. He's been through a rough patch here. Yeah.
Support your Panthers. Go vote for the Pro Bowl players. Just put up a tweet myself. You go retweet my recent tweet for Big Corbs. In the Walter Payton Man of the Year. We had Greg Olson, who actually won the whole damn thing one year, right? Which is fun.
Yeah, last time I think we've had, or no, Thomas Davis did.
Yeah, it was Thomas Davis. Greg Olsen got snubbed because
he did win it?
it ended up being Manning and Fitzgerald were co-winners because it was Eli Manning.
I thought he got it. Dang.
I know, dude. Eli Manning and
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald and Greg Olsen. They were the three finalists, and they gave it to both Eli and Fitzgerald. And then the next year was J.J. Watt. After that hurricane went through Houston, and he was helping them in a big way. So, dude, just tough. But Thomas Davis was the last winner for the Carolina Panthers.
Support your players. Support the C3 Panthers podcast by subscribing, smashing the thumbs up button. If you're on X or Facebook, hit a like, reshare, repost, whatever the correct terminology is for the platform that you're on. Be a part of the conversation by hopping in the chat. It really helps. And it is nice, I think, because the players had some moments earlier in the season where they were hearing the noise of fans. And, they're kind of talking back a little, if you don't, you remember, and then we had the podcast thing, the big scandal, which is seemingly gone away at this point. I haven't heard anything. It's been all quiet on that front, but the players were, so I think it is nice for the players to get a little fan support right now at this part of the season as they're fighting and grinding, hopefully to make the playoffs for us. And boy, I tell you, this is, and I don't like when the players come after the fans too much. It's not like my favorite look for anything. Cause
right.
Yeah.
Like you said, the players don't even know that this is a rivalry with the Saints or it's not their fault. They're brand new to the team, brand new to the league and stuff but it is, man, it's been a long drought for us. And so the fans could use this. So we're locking arms in solidarity. Cody, is that about it? We just got a couple more calls. Oh no, we got a little bit more. We got to look at our opponents.
We got just a couple more. But we can go to some callers.
Yeah, we only got two
more
calls.
The rest of it is just sort of academic, and then we'll do know your phobe. So let's run through some calls.
All right. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go.
Hey guys, it's the ground makes some Howard.
No way,
guys. This is the first time in a while I could legit say that I miss watching this Panthers team, and I wasn't happy with them because last couple of years, bye week was like vacation. Then I didn't have to watch this Panthers team break my heart and bite my nails. Well, I'm probably still gonna have to do the latter because we have a team that seems like it's a divisional game against a worse team, and we slept on them last time, and look what happened. And then the Bucs obviously slept on them because they dropped going at home to the Saints, who are out of playoff contention. I think they were one of the first teams to get booted from the playoffs. And now the Bucs just, I guess we're like tied for first place because they lost to the Saints. We're not going to be tied for first if we lose to the Saints, and we're probably still going to have to sweep them to get in the playoffs. But I think they have a tougher schedule than we did or whatever. And I don't know how they do that crap. But, yeah, I miss watching Panthers football legitimately. And I can't wait. This has been a wild ride of a season, and it's actually been fun. Last year was a wild ride of a season too, but this year I think we can actually call ourselves good. Anyway, guys. Wow!
Hey, Wakanda forever.
There you go, Joe.
We're having fun.
Thanks for this. Yeah, it has been fun. And even the losses, I know some of them have been disheartening. Have been, we want to win so bad. That's been it. But there's been excitement. I still think like that. Think about the Saints game. Somebody brought this up. Is the Saints one really made me mad? But you only allowed 17 points in that game. There have been some times, even that Arizona game. You got an onside kick and you're fighting towards the end and at the beginning of the season. The 49ers game was not ever out of hand. We just could never score. There's been exciting moments this season beyond just this team. And I know, this is how long it's been, folks, for us to be excited, is that the Panthers are only 7-6. And weeks, a month ago, people were talking about firing the coach. And then this is the NFL too, Cody, because he cited strength of schedule. That shit all changes so on a drop of the dime, because look, as the Bucs we were told the Bucs didn't matter after week 8. They had the easiest schedule in the league, and they're 1-5 in their last 6 games.
Yeah, and I think it also speaks to those division rivals. Your division will always play you tough, man. Like, everyone was picking us to beat the Saints. Everybody was picking the Bucs to beat the Saints. And then the Saints came in, they had other expectations, man. And, every year, yes, you're building your team to win as many football games as possible, but you're really building your team to go up against your division rivals. Because if you can win your division, you're in the playoffs, and that's what gives you a chance. So, I think also the fact that you play them twice in a year, you get a chance at a do-over.
Yeah.
You understand their tendencies. You see what they've done against other division rivals. Yep. And Tony, you mentioned how we were talking about wanting to fire coaches and get rid of Bryce Young. Well, it was that Saints game that really had us feeling that way. So that's why this is an opportunity to sort of right some of those wrongs and really kind of rectify those terrible performances that we did have earlier in the year and show that we're a better team now for those losses that we had earlier.
All right. Final call of the night.
What's up, y'all? It's Lucas from Far City. Look, y'all, Coach said it best. We control our own destiny. So let's don't mess this shit up. Let's go out and let's go whoop New Orleans' ass. Let's go get some payback. And then let's go whoop Tampa's ass. Let's take this division. Keep pounding, go Panthers.
So what is the order? Do we go Saints, Bucs, Seahawks, or is it
Saints, Bucs, Seahawks, Bucs? Yeah, so we're on the road at home for the final 2 games for Tampa and Seattle, and then we finish on the road in Tampa.
We don't want to put the cart before the horse, right? As I talked about kind of the cautiousness in our tone and things, or at least I feel like I can feel like the desire for excitement, but we're scared to just let loose completely. That's how I kind of interpret the tone and some of these calls, or even my own look at it. I mean, how wild though. I mean, I don't know what we would be thinking about this team. And what I'm trying to say is this is like, I mean, it has been an up and down year. It's kind of like, I don't know if a really playoff bent team that can go deep. I don't know if I'm ready to say that with my chest, but if you beat the Saints, then you beat the Bucs, and then somehow beat the Seahawks, and you're trending at that time. I don't know, is all of a sudden, or do we reset these expectations to now we're hosting a damn playoff game going into, imagine we want that roller coaster ride.
Sure.
That's the roller coaster we want to be on.
Again, Tony, not to put the cart before the horse like you're saying, but Sam Darnold, for as good as he was last year and for as good as he has been this year, he's another one of those guys that as the season grows old, dude, those interceptions start to mount up, dude. And when you have guys like Jaycee Horn coming back healthy, Trevon Moore, Mike Jackson continuing to be a great pickup by Dan Morgan, these are the opportunities for us to really show out in the final weeks of the season. It's like everything is trending in our direction. We just have to capitalize.
We were so fortunate for that Saints victory because despite all of the things that Tampa, I mean, Baker hit, what's his name? The new rookie, the rookie Egbuka. He hit wide open in the hand. It was kind of a they were like, oh, maybe he threw it too hard. And then they didn't get anything out of it. I don't think. Maybe they got 3, but that's all of a sudden changing that. They win that game. So I saw that. And then I also watching the Seahawks, part of the Seahawks game. I thought the JSN, right, who's had one of the most incredible seasons this year. I thought he looked kind of lazy in that game. Like, and I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a tough word, but like he fumbled the ball going out of bounds and it went out of bounds and it looked like he was just kind of like being too casual in the moment.
Yeah.
Then Sam Darnold threw a fucking beauty of the pass in the back of the end zone, and he had already stepped out of bounds. And it was like, I don't know if was his head on straight. So wouldn't it be really nice is like, imagine, and again, not to over, and I feel like I don't believe in jinxes. Actually, I do probably. But imagine not only that, imagine like all those things you're saying. You beat the Saints, then you beat the Bucs, and then somehow we pull it off against Sam Darnold and them. And like now you're going into the playoffs. T-Mac is winning the fucking offensive rookie of the year. Right. I mean, over Abuka or whatever is that like, I mean, like is like the storylines abound. And you were mentioning this, CK, and you've been talking about it for a while. And then you roll into like the playoffs and you got to play the Bears. Bryce Young in that, the trade of all trades. And like, man, imagine, you know what? This is the type of season that might be necessary to quell the Bryce conversation.
Oh,
like
100%.
It might like that's how you do it, right? CK, you go into the playoffs, you beat the Bears, ruin their day. All of a sudden, we're fucking all Bryce Young fans for life.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's 100% right. You're thinking about it from the mindset that this season should be bringing. If you're a Panthers fan, is number one, this is exactly what we talked about being what we needed to feel like this team is heading in the right direction. Improvement in a significant way, by the way, from Bryce Young. Like, I know that may not feel like, if you compare last year, even the last half of last year to this year, significant improvement.
I think it was
Bryce
almost
Young.
overrated that back half of the last year.
Yeah, I think he was coming off of such a poor performance his rookie year in the first 2 games of the season last year, to where any improvement just was exponential, right?
Yeah.
Now the improvement we've seen from where he was at the end of last year to now is just, we're starting to see it really connect, I think. Now, I know that we live one week to the next as Panthers fans, and Bryce Young has left us in that position where we have to feel that way because of the moments where we go from one really good game to a really bad outing. And so the consistency not being a part of his game is also a culprit here. But if you're a Panthers fan and you're looking at this season and your first thought is anything other than, dude, we are doing something that we haven't done in almost 10 years, right? That is like, that should be exciting. That should be something you can feel like we can build a franchise around. And Bryce Young, while I am hesitant to still throw franchise quarterback at him, he is showing that he is capable of doing things in the NFL that he was drafted to be able to do, and that we can put the weight on his shoulders, because when Dave Canales trusts him and allows him to make the plays that need to be played need to be made without putting too much on his shoulders at the same time, I think he has shown up in a way that we can't be anything other than less than thrilled about. Also, more like nobody can be more surprised based on what we saw his first season in the NFL. So I'm excited. I mean, like, it is absolutely everything you can ask for being a Panthers fan, seeing this team do what they've done in the past couple of weeks.
I would just like to go on record real quick. CK was starting the show saying, hey, we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. We can do it. This can be a team of destiny. Bro, if we made it to the Super Bowl and won, I would never say another negative thing about Bryce Young
turn into a boring podcast
for his entire fucking career. Even if he has a 7 interception game in the future, bro, if we win the Super Bowl this year, Cody Lashney, will never utter a negative sentence about Bryce Young here on YouTube or on Twitter.
Start saying your prayers, folks, for that. Panthers Twitter, say a collective prayer for that right there.
Oh, man.
I think when you bring up the week to week thing, CK, like it has been week to week, is it's been at times hard to see. It's not been actually. I mean, it's like it's all there. The growth, like you're saying, it making the playoffs for me wasn't a requirement. Like it's really fun to think that we could, and all of a sudden that this team could be better than anybody or even we thought they could be. But we did want just continued growth and improvement at all levels across, and we've seen it in so many places, and we have seen it. Like you're right, you have seen it in Bryce, but what you haven't seen just yet, is because of that week to week, and it's not only him. It's not only him, right? I mean, the offense, you could say play calling in San Francisco. But you look at the San Francisco game, you look at the Saints game, those two games right there, is they were opportunities to galvanize growth, and they created and festered questions and doubt. And right now, like you're talking about an opportunity to galvanize belief and growth in this team, and you got to go get it. You got to go get it. And those moments was not about losing the games,
right?
At least that 49ers is not losing the game. It's just like, man, why did this offense just go from just looking great to taking a collective shit and not being able to do anything? And it wasn't any one thing. So we're ready for that we're ready for Bryce Young to galvanize our belief. Galvanize. We're ready for the Panthers to shut fucking Cody up.
We've been everyone's
we've also been ready for this of our whole time.
Bro, there have been people waiting for that for 35 years. I don't know if that's
right, but I'm talking about we're waiting for waiting for a Super Bowl.
Yes, man. You know,
what an incredible story. Tony, I do have a question for you guys. Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah. Well, I want you to ask a question, but it's that Panthers lore, or the C3 lore of you being on my porch before that game you went to.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, do we have a chance? You said, of course we got a chance. Cam Newton's under center. The moment that we as a fan base can collectively feel that way about Bryce Young, that's it. That's all we want. That's all we've ever wanted.
I mean, it's really what we realize in retrospect is how special that is to have that belief and confidence and that love and devotion, right? It's actually very rare and fleeting. That's why I always said is being in a land with a quarterback is far. You don't want to be in a land without a quarterback. You want to be able to just have that where you just say, because I mean, I think the Rams were, coming off a Super Bowl win, like they were a better team. And the Panthers were struggling. Like there was a lot. I think that's when he hurt his foot. It's right around that time. I can't remember. I don't know if that was when the foot injury came in. Cody, do you remember? Was it around that time? CK, were you at that game?
I was not at that game. No.
Okay.
I don't think I was at that game.
When he either hurt his foot in the game before or something, and then it was like, oh shit, this is bad. I want to say it was something like, but it is that. It's like the faith of like a mother's love for their kid. Yeah. Like it's just unshakable, unwavering. Look, it said the real AP said you almost made it without mentioning Cam. Thanks, Cody.
Do we have a whole segment coming up, bro? You just
there's a diatribe. All right, here's my question for you guys.
Yeah.
Now ask the chat. I went on the radio show I go on Fridays, Pirate Radio. I'm on 4 o'clock on Pirate Radio in Greenville, North Carolina, doing NFL, Panthers NFL. My buddy Clip Brock, Commanders fan, he said that he believed that the Panthers win over the Packers was the biggest win, like upset win in the entire NFL this season.
Wow.
And then he asked us on the show, do you think it was which is the bigger win for just throughout? I mean, but for the Panthers specifically, beating the Packers on the road or beating the Rams at home. And the panel went to the Rams because of being the best team in the league, coming off of a lot, like stuff like this. He still thought that being road dogs, going in there and doing that on the road in Green Bay was such a big deal. He stuck with his answer. Which was a bigger win for the Panthers, Packers or Rams?
Tony, that's tough, man, because I can see the argument for both of them.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about Lambeau in the cold. It was a very windy game when we went up there and won. So he's not too far off. I mean, the Rams were they were a higher rated football team when we beat them. And Matthew Stafford is probably still at least a candidate for MVP this year.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, probably. I would say that the Rams probably have a better offensive roster. But I think from top to bottom, I don't know. That's tough, man.
It really is. I want to go back. CK, your thoughts?
For both.
CK, your thoughts?
I think it's still the Rams to me. I think the Rams are more impactful, mainly because they did it in a fashion that was complementary across the board. Whereas I felt like the Green Bay game was only a defensive running game, and that's it. Which, by the way,
it was a run and defense game.
Is Panthers football? Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I think the Rams game showed us we can do it all in the same game and still go toe to toe with the best teams in the NFL. What it did also tell us, we've got to keep in mind, is how little our margin of error is.
Yeah.
Because we played a perfect game as a Panthers organization,
and it took every bit.
It took every play to beat the Rams.
You're almost looking at overtime.
Yeah, fourth down, touchdown passes, everything, right? And so it does show you our limitations, but it also shows you that we have the capability, and I think that was far more impressive of a win than the Green Bay, or more important to us.
I'm going to go with the Rams for this reason alone, is that we were missing so many pieces on defense, and somehow the defense still made such an impact in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, as you had Jaycee Horn out, you were missing linebackers. We didn't have, and so I'm going to give the edge to the Rams game. I'm with you, but I do agree, Cody. Both are. And what his point was, isn't it crazy that the two biggest upsets in the NFL have both come from the Panthers?
Yeah.
These are the two biggest upsets on the road against Green Bay, who's a top team, and then the Rams, unbeatable, it seemed like, and you did that. And real neat story.
Tony, keep in mind, we're not just beating those two guys. We have beaten the Green Bay Packers. We've beaten the Rams. We've beaten the Cowboys. When you look at the NFC, we've beaten top teams in the NFC, right? At the end of the day, like the only blowouts you can really point to are from AFC teams. And those are, you Patriots and the Bills. And those are some of the best teams in the NFL. And the Bills game, we didn't even have Bryce.
They were coming off a bye too.
The Patriots game, we were still trying to figure out who we were, it felt like. Now it feels like we have an identity. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to quote me on this, because I know that every Sunday could be a complete, butchering of the Panthers, depending upon which Panthers show up.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid to say that we play those teams again. Do we win? I don't know. But I tell you what, it looks a lot better of a football game than it did those two games.
Yeah, the only one I don't want to go against again,
Patriots,
honestly, are the Patriots. Think about that. Is nobody knew how good they were and how good Drake May was playing at that point. Is like we were just kind of like, oh, they're not that great. It just seems so bad. And really, that game was really where our special teams let us down. They had some big fucking returns. I think we had a return touchdown. I can't remember, but I remember going, the special teams are sucking in this game. All right,
Cody, since we kind of brought it up, let's dream. Okay. Let's say we do go to the Super Bowl before we come crashing back down to earth.
Oh, I already got the answer.
Who would you rather see in the Super Bowl? The Patriots or the Broncos?
I want the Patriots.
Patriots. I would rather the Patriots. I hate the hell out of Sean Payton. I don't want that dude.
Would that make it more satisfying to beat him then?
But remember, the Super Bowl is in Santa Clara, where we lost Super Bowl 50 to the Broncos.
Oh God, I want to play that. You know what is, God,
Chat, weigh in.
how
Patriots
fucking
or Broncos?
crazy is that? The Patriots and the Broncos are both legitimate Super Bowl
Yeah,
contenders. too.
they're 1 and 2 right now.
Either way, we would rectify a world sin. We would right
That's
or
what I'm
wrong.
saying.
It's like
That's what
either
I'm
way.
saying.
I think I would want the Patriots.
To me,
God.
I would probably say the Broncos, just because it's so poetic. If we could get it done against the team that we lost to in Super Bowl 50,
And punch fucking Sean Payton in the face.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. That's the one. I would
Gosh,
say.
that's like answering what's harder, what's the bigger upset? The Packers or the damn Rams?
I know that's what I'm
crazy.
saying, man. That's
Oh man. All right. Or you could play like, have we beaten any AFC teams?
Have we beaten any? We
Did
beat
we?
the
I don't.
Jets. We beat the Jets. We beat we lost to the Jaguars. We lost to the Bills.
So you could do this is like, you imagine if the Jags Panthers. Now that might be a kind of a fun story.
Yeah.
The Jags Panthers.
Oh, we beat the
teams that come into the league at the same time.
Yeah. We beat the Dolphins too.
The Dolphins.
Oh, you know the Dolphins have quietly won the last like 5
Well,
or 6
they lost this week. They got beat up. But yeah, but you said the Dolphins. Yeah.
Dolphins.
All right.
Yeah.
Funny, the Tua has never beat the Jets, and Tua has never won a game in under 40-degree weather, and something had to give. He's never lost to the Jets, excuse me, and he won against the Jets in under 40 degrees. So, fun fact for you, Cody. Let's finish out the show. What we got?
Yeah, buddy. So this is just a good-hearted, good-feeling one. The Teppers, they put on an event. It's something like a food drive and a toy drive for people in the community. And they had Bryce Young there. They had all the guys there, Derek Brown, all the big names on the team. And Mike K caught up with Mr. and Mrs. Tepper and asked them if the success of Charlotte FC could possibly be bleeding over to the Panthers.
It's not that shabby. Listen, it's pretty good. It's just it's all building process. And look, we'll see where we go. We'll see what happens. But we do think, as I said, Canales, Morgan, Killis, and everybody here in the organization, I think we're building something special in Carolina. And we've been building it outside the community. We're building it on the field. So it's a total picture. And hopefully we can go on and we have that for many years here. And that's what we're looking for.
Look, boys, can I take a moment and put C3 back in the good graces of the Teppers? Because, look, I know that he has been the punching bag for this team for a long time. We have not even sniffed the playoffs since he has owned the team. But I feel like with his recent hires and with Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, and hell, even if my theory is right, that he was the one who pounded the table for Bryce Young, I still don't believe Frank Reich and even Fitterer had their minds made up on Bryce Young. I just don't believe that. But if all of these things end up coalescing into the Panthers being a good football team, and if it appears as though it does, as though David Tepper has taken his hands off the reins and let the football people make football decisions, I do think he does deserve a lot of credit. He's not in the middle of some fiasco about trying to move the team. They're going to renovate Bank of America Stadium. They're putting a new concert hall next to the stadium. They're out in the community doing things. They've given like over $6 million or something like that to food banks here in the Carolinas. I think it's time to give Mr. and Mrs. Tepper a little bit of credit. Am I wrong in saying that, or am I just?
I don't think you're wrong. I think that They've been, listen, we've asked for David Tepper to take a step back away from the team. And it feels as though he has had a very much a hands-off approach ever since the hire of Dave Canales. He's let these guys do what they needed to do without there being some like feeling of supervision from him as the owner, which he has the right to do, by the way. Sure. But he's done, I think, a pretty good job in listening to the outside noise, and even if it isn't something that's actually taking place, the public perception of him and where he's at is significantly different than where it was a year ago or 2 years ago. So I think that he and Nicole, I mean, like I said, I think they've gotten back into the good graces of the Carolinas, and it all started. And if you watch any Pat McAfee, it all started with the charity concert that he basically gave the venue of the Bank of America Stadium to Luke Combs to have for the hurricane relief. Since that's happened, it's felt like we've been on an upward trajectory as an actual. And again, I'm not one to buy into these things because I certainly understand that there's more to that than just simply divinity. But it's also not. It's hard to not look at that and say, man, it's they're making choices that are good for people, not just for their money. And it seems to be paying dividends in the arena of football and soccer.
I'll let you give him kudos. I ain't giving this dude no kudos. I don't even I got nothing mean or nice to say.
I guess we're trying to get some press passes one year. Whenever
we got a lot more. I mean, look, I don't have anything bad to say. What I would say is this: is like if the credit you want is for him to like just not get in the way. Okay, like thanks for not getting in the way. Thanks. I mean, for not coming, like, okay. And then, and this is me just being jaded and maybe envious of people with this much money. Is like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they give. I'm glad that they donate. Right. I mean, I really am. I mean, it's nice. I mean, if they didn't do it, it would be weird.
Yeah.
It would be really weird.
Yeah.
David Tepper, I just looked up his current worth. He's worth $23.7 billion.
Yeah.
He was worth $20 billion last year. So I mean, this bug is not.
And by the way, to show you how much an NFL team increased your net profits
since he bought.
Yeah, like it wasn't he worth like
12
between like I thought it was between 7 to 10.
I think he was worth 12 then, but I don't think it's the team that has made his worth go up that much. I mean, it has. He took a $3 billion investment, and it's probably valued at like $7 billion now. Yeah. So he's doubled his investment last 8 years. Not bad. I mean, the stock market has been crushing it, so he's probably doing really well there.
Sure.
And it's not David Tepper. I mean, again, give to the community. Thank you. Keep building for facilities and making the fan experience better. Also, take a note, Mr. Tepper, about those PSL owners and that stupid gift y'all gave away this year. You might want to up that one up a little bit. Like other people getting like chests and jackets and stuff, and you're giving them like a tumbler. Here is the thing. I've been watching the show. It's been fun. I just stumbled across it. Loot, which is I think it's kind of like loosely based on Jeff Bezos's divorced wife, in a sense, and that this woman, she gets like her husband cheats on her. She gets $87 billion, and she gave away like $6 million or something. And she was like, "It's all good. I made 22 million in like the last 48 hours or something like this." The worth, I guess, it's not against Tepper. It's not against, and I also I'm not a take wealth from the rich person. Like that's not what I'm advocating for. I just find it just wild, just utterly ununderstandable how you live with like your life with that much money. Like it's just like they're like, well, it's just like the insane. I was thinking about what it costs So this was a couple years ago, and somebody said, "Oh, I saw somebody wants to get rid of some Cowboys tickets, Panthers Cowboys."
I remember you
and
telling me
the
about
box.
this.
And it was just like, it was $30,000 for that box. It was like, but man, these people just wipe their ass with
who
money.
the
It's
fuck
just
has that?
just crazy. It's just unfathomable to me. So you know what? I mean, yeah, David Tepper, thanks for not getting in the way. We'll never feel like, I guess life is hard to be a 23 billionaire.
Well, so by the way, I wanted to read some of my favorite critiques. So Loud Pack Luke says he needs to bring some grass into the stadium, which I think a lot of people would agree. Fans and players alike are over the turf. So I think that is one good critique. And the real AP says we need more parking, which is
I think that's the problem though with having the stadium in the middle of the city, though, right?
Yeah, but dude, there was a there's like a forge or like a metal pipe building here in Charlotte that they were talking about tearing down.
Make it
it's
a
like
parking
right
deck.
next to the stadium. Yeah, to make it parking, but I don't think that ever went through. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I'm not,
I don't wake up and be like, fuck David Tepper. How about that? So if he's doing a good job
Anymore.
yeah. And I thought that was
it's
too
been
easy
a
of a route too sometimes.
It's been a trend for a lot of fans, like White Chocolate Espresso, to like whenever something goes bad, just to blame David Tepper.
Right.
And it's like
it's an easy punching bag.
Yeah. Like
a villain. You know what I mean? It's easy to villainize somebody who's worth so much money and then throws a drink. I mean, and I'm sure, and I don't think I'd be any better than these people. I'd probably be way worse. But I mean, I can't imagine, like, it has to be hard to be in touch when you have that much money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is like in this show, she's got like David Chang, who he's like, I'm open. He's a personal chef. And they're like, go heat me up a burrito. And it's just like, it's just so, I mean, how could you be a down to earth person when your yacht is worth $150 million or whatever? That's probably a cheap yacht.
Tony, if you're really interested about this, on that subject, like, what do you do if you're a billionaire? There's a dude on YouTube named Johnny Harris who made a video just about this, like how you spend your money if you're worth hundreds of millions versus if you're worth hundreds of billions.
Yeah,
like Elon Musk, like what they do with their money, it's fucking unreal, dude.
It gotta go.
You gotta look it up.
You should go watch. There's an old Richard Pryor movie called Brewster's Millions, and he's got spends like
in a certain amount of time, right?
But he can't buy stuff that you can keep. Like he can't just buy a stadium or buy a football. One of the best things he did in there was bought a $5 million stamp or something, and then mailed a letter on it. That one was awesome. But that's a great Richard Pryor movie. OG. All right, Cody, let's finish this sucker out. There's a couple more things to talk about, and we're done.
Yeah, man. So how about this? Oh, Phillip Rivers coming back to the NFL at 44 years old. He was a Hall of Fame semifinalist, but now they're going to push that down the road. So Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. He's out for the season. He won't be back until literally the start of next year. And then Phillip Rivers comes back to the team. He was there, I believe, in 2020.
He was right after Andrew Luck, I think, retired.
Right. Yes, it was right after Andrew Luck. He went from the Chargers to the Colts, and now he's back, man. And of course, everybody's like, well, if Phillip Rivers can make a comeback, Cam Newton can make a comeback too, boys. Shout out to the real AP. I told you we would find a way to get Cam Newton into this show.
Dang on it.
No. Dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
This is wild, dude.
He's how old is he? 44?
44 years old.
Man. I mean, got a lot of kids to pay for. Good Catholic.
That must be what it is. He's just like, this coaching thing is not working out.
What was he? Is it a high school coach?
I think so.
Yeah.
How old are you, Tony?
I am 40. I'm the same age.
You're 44.
Yeah, just turned 44.
So, Tony, there's another universe where you could be playing NFL quarterback.
I guess so.
All right, man.
Tag on it. All right.
Are y'all ready to know your foe, the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, let's go. The Panthers are taking on
Absolutely.
the Saints on the road, favorites. Second time this year is road favorite. And they got a rookie quarterback who is getting it done with his legs. Who's progressing. I just saw Louis Riddick put out a good tweet about him. Go ahead, Cody. Tell us what we got.
Yeah, no, he's been looking good, man. Tyler Shuckett. When the Saints drafted Shuckett in the second round of this year's draft, many questioned the decision to take the 25-year-old rookie. He's now 26 from Louisville. He began the season backing up Spencer Rattler, but was named the starter in Week 9. He got his first NFL win the next game against our Panthers. He's now 2-3 as a starter, and one of those losses coming in a 4-point defeat to the Dolphins. As the starter, he's thrown 105 of 152, 69% for 1,084 yards with 5 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Shuck was at his most effective on Sunday, though, when he was willing to use his legs. He rushed 7 times for a career high of 55 yards and 2 touchdowns in week 14, becoming the first player this season with touchdowns on both the designed run and scramble in the same game, according to Next Gen Stats. On his scramble score, Shuck was 9.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, the furthest distance behind the line of scrimmage of any touchdown since week 5 of 2022. So, look, I mean, I remember saying it after we played them the first time. That performance that Shuck had against the Panthers at the time, that would have been the 4th best game statistically of Bryce Young's career.
Yeah.
So they're already starting to see some returns on their investment. He's a little bit older, played a lot of football. If we could get Jaycee Horn and Trevon Moore back, that's going to be the key to making his life a living hell.
He might be a little bit older, but he's still young enough to be Phillip Rivers' first child.
He is.
I mean, really, I think he would be 18. I think 18. Phillip Rivers' first kid right there. All right.
Oh,
what do we
man.
What's next?
The rookie running back, so there is no Alvin Kamara, but Alvin Kamara is sidelined for a second week in a row due to an ankle and knee injury. The Saints have accelerated their plan to implement Devin Neal. The last 2 weeks have seen Neal's numbers jump significantly as he started both games. During this 2-game span, Neal had 33 rushes for 117 yards and a touchdown. Neal attended college at Kansas and was drafted in the 6th round of this year's draft. Kamara hasn't practiced since leaving early in the Saints' Week 12 game. Statistically, this has been one of Kamara's least productive seasons, though he had 471 yards and 131 carries through the first 11 games, averaging 3.6 yards per carry and just 1 touchdown. So it's going to be better for our defense, obviously, that we're not having to play Alvin Kamara. But, boys, let's be real. The Panthers need to shut down Taysom Hill, who, even when the Panthers know that they're going to give him the ball to run, they still somehow can't stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is sorry. I'm looking at David Tepper's stock portfolio. I was just thinking about how much money he had made. I remember him making a big loot move on Micron. Micron is they make chips. They're kind of like an NVIDIA type competitor. It's a big part of his portfolio right here. So maybe Micron's still a buy here. But the Panthers, historically bad against the run last year, have been significantly better. But the Rams were able to really run the ball on the Carolina Panthers. We have to stop the run and put it in Shuckett's hands, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And how did the Panthers beat this defense?
Beating this defense, like we alluded to earlier, boys, the defense is stingy. Linebacker Demario Davis said playing Sunday in the rain was like being a kid, and that's how free his unit was playing against the Bucs. They never sacked Baker Mayfield, and on the season, they're in the middle of the pack with 28 sacks. But 2 quarterback hurries by Nathan Shepard flushed Mayfield into awkward plays. The pass rush kept Mayfield on the move most of the day, including 6 quarterback pressures on the final 3 drives, during which Mayfield went 104 through the air, and the secondary took advantage of 7 passes defended, including 1 interception. One of those passes defended came from Cam Jordan, who jumped into the lane for a batted pass. On the edges, Kool-Aid McKinstry, still awesome name, and Alontae Taylor have combined for 17 pass defenses and 5 interceptions. The Saints defense played man coverage at a season high 37.1% in their Week 14 win over the Buccaneers, holding Mayfield to 3 interceptions for 19 yards, 3 completions for 19 yards on 11 pass attempts in man coverage. So look, Bryce did not have a good go throwing the football against the Saints first time around. They have a really good secondary, and they're getting decent pressures, even though they're not getting a ton of sacks.
And Cam
Still
Jordan,
more than the
please just go
Panthers.
away.
I know, man.
Is that hair? Is that like natural gray? Is he that?
I doubt it. I think he probably dyed it. But dude, who knows, man? This dude. So Phillip
He's
Rivers
the Hall
is
of Famer.
Phillip Rivers is your age. Cam Jordan is my age. I believe
He's a Hall of Famer, dude.
Yeah, 35, about to be 36.
I think he came in the year after Cam. He came in.
No,
around
I
Cam.
think it was the same year, wasn't it? 2011. Yeah, I believe he was in the back half of 2011. Yeah,
Well,
first round pick.
this guy's just been a nightmare.
Nightmare.
And I tell you, it's one of those players that you hate that he's on the Saints. But if he was on our team, we would love this mug. We'd love
He's
him.
one of those guys that what was the defensive tackle that played for the Bucs that came here?
That was McCoy. Gerald McCoy.
He was
Gerald.
goofy. He was
No, but
kinda
that's what I'm saying.
goofy,
But he's
though.
like one of those people that he's a really good player, and you hear him talking shit, and he's kind of a fun guy, and you don't really hate him. You just hate that you have to play against him.
Yeah, you hate him because he did it to your team.
Yeah, and him versus Cam Newton was the stuff of legends.
Yeah, and he talked about how, he's like, damn, Cam, a different breed. Carolina Panthers,
Absolutely.
they got to win. They got to win. Right now, they are 1.5 point, opened at 1.5, 2.5 point favorites on the road against the Saints. Not going to be easy, but the Panthers have to take this win. They got to focus and not worry about what Tampa's doing with Atlanta. They got to go out and scratch this win out. I don't care if it's ugly or not. I do believe the Panthers get this win. I'm ready to, and now I tell you, this might be the problem that I'm picking the Panthers. I don't think I've gotten them right all season long.
Now,
every time I pick on this show I have, on Pirate Radio, every time I go, every time I pick them to win, they've lost. Every time I pick them to lose, they win. It's been difficult. The Carolina Panthers need this win. They need it to work. And with a loss here, their playoff hopes are not dead. But I don't want to win. I don't want to go into the playoffs that way. I want to go into the playoffs the way we were just talking about, where you reel off a win against the Saints, Bucs, and then the Seahawks, and all of a sudden we're going mess with us and find out in the playoffs. That's how I want this season to end. I want it to be a thing that we galvanize belief in this team. I'm picking the Carolina Panthers, though, to finally get it done. I was too early to the party. Bryce Young coming out game, I said in the last one. It's got to be this time, man. Come on, Bryce. Let's go. Bryce. Let's do it. I mean, yes, we need to run the ball.
Maybe.
Yeah, we need to run the ball. We need to do all those different things. But, man, can we do that and Bryce get it too? Let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah, so we making our picks.
Yeah, I'm picking the Panthers.
CK.
So the last time I have had this mindset, and it's not really been a consistent thing to help us, but I've picked against the Panthers consistently for the past, I'd say, 10 weeks. Now we're in the playoff hunt, but we've also had some stinkers. So my pick against the Panthers has not really played out in a way that is tangible just yet. But here's the deal. I think after that New Orleans loss last time, where they dared Bryce Young to throw the ball and we couldn't do it, Bryce Young followed that up with 2 performances since then that are him having to throw the ball and being gutsy with that. And so I think he's answered the call, and I think he's going to be more prepared to throw the ball against the defense that has been admittedly stingy when we were trying to play the run game, with them in that first outing. I think this is going to be a win for the Panthers. I think Bryce Young shows up and continues to do what he has been doing. I think this defense makes Shug look like he is a rookie again. And I think that the Panthers make this a convincing win. I don't think it's going to be just a win. I think it's going to be put the league on notice that we're not just in the mix. We are a powerhouse that they need to be afraid of.
Yes, sir. I am also picking the Carolina Panthers, man. I know, but Tony, look, it's what I've said before. Like, this team, they have to be able to win when we're expecting them to win. We can't do this thing like, step on a crack, break your mama's back. We have to depend on them to win games like these because, damn it, if we cannot beat the Saints, dude, I don't know that we deserve to be a playoff team. Like, straight up, I'm going to pull for the Panthers to win every game that they're in. But, like, these are the games that you need to win. They are still on the verge of a top 5 pick in this year's draft. We have to beat this team. I want the scenario that we laid out earlier in the show. I want us to be wrapping this bitch up by week 16, where we know we have a home playoff game and that we have something to look forward to. That's what I want. I'm picking the Carolina Panthers. We're going to get it done. We're going to move to 8 wins on the season.
You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast. Here every Tuesday night, Friday night post-game show. It's going to be a fun post-game show we expect on Sunday as the Carolina Panthers hopefully in hopes and beliefs as they advance their playoff cost. The longest running Panther podcast. Now I'm going to close it out with the longest running segment. It's time to ice some fools up. It's our time to ice up. Tell someone to ice up, toughen up, get it together. Let's go, Cody Lack.
Ice up.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's our homage to Steve Smith, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, and get it together. Everyone is fair game, from family, friends, Panthers. It's our time where we can step outside the bounds of football, outside the lines of football if we want, and tell someone to ice up, toughen up, get it together. You guys got anything on your heart heavy, or should I start?
So I had a couple, but I'm going to use this moment to call an audible. And it's something that happened just now. Shout out to Tim Stellings. He said, I sent you something. What do you think? And Tim, I'm not going to fault you, brother, but I need to issue a warning to anyone and everyone on Facebook. Do not follow a Facebook page called Keep Pounding Central. Everything that they post is some made-up AI clickbait bullshit, dude. It's not real. None of it's real. And it's so surprising to me how many people get duped by this one page. I have been unfollowed this fucking thing. So, for example, the one that Tim just sent to me, not making fun of you, Tim. I'm just giving you the heads up. It's all bullshit. Breaking: Carolina Panthers head coach Dave Canales has signed a $15.5 million deal with Netflix for a 7-episode series highlighting his journey, dedication to football, and impact on the path to success in the league. Brother, if you believe that, I have some property to sell you on the other side of Mars. They have another one about Bryce Young was some waitress was fired after
pouring queso.
No, it was she was fired for helping NFL star Bryce Young of the Panthers, but the next day she got the shock of her life. Something about how Bryce sent her some money or some shit. It's all bullshit. It's so stupid. Keep pounding Central. Ice up, son.
All right.
No one believes your bullshit. Tim, unfollow that page, brother. You have to, dude.
My ice up. I got a couple short ones though. I watched on Netflix. I watched the Adele concert from back when COVID came out, or not came out, but like it was like the first. It was like open air venue. Seth Rogen was there. It's a big Adele concert. It was her album where she like worked through her divorce. She left her husband. Did this first. I mean, she's such a great, her pipes are so great. It's so perfect. Like she doesn't miss a note. It's like so perfect. It's almost annoying. Like how good it is. Like, I mean, it is so good. But the Netflix special, what they do is they pivot from that concert that happened 3 years ago to these interview with Oprah and about like what she was going through and stuff. And I just thought it was crazy that this concert, which was so big and monumental at the time, I think, and the whole album's dedicated to her leaving her husband. And like the album, and I'm not that familiar. I mean, this was the most of exposure I've gotten to like her music in one sitting. You know, I mean, I've heard songs, but I didn't ever know what they meant. I mean, I wasn't thinking about the context of her life and stuff like this. And like the whole, like the album, from what I gathered in the performance is like her husband was a really good dude, and she just was like, does not feel like, I mean, she didn't paint herself in a great light, and not like like she was trying to be deprecating to herself, but it was like she was not throwing her husband under the bus, or ex-husband. I just thought there was some irony that some people a guy proposed at a concert, and they brought him up on stage, celebrated this guy, brought his fiance in with these noise canceling, like she didn't know, and all of a sudden it's like this big deal. I just thought, I'm icing up the idea of proposing at a concert that's solely devoted to the concept of divorce. I just found the irony and juxtaposition there to me was difficult to wrap my head around. And my other one goes this. I just saw this on Facebook because I was looking for Tim Sellers. I thought he was sending it to me. This happened in Greenville, North Carolina. Can you take down yours real quick there? Let me see. It's not that big of a deal, but it's Greenville police. A 20-year-old man has been arrested for breaking in the Sigma Tau Gamma fraternity house near ECU Monday morning. Officers say he stole a ceremonial sword, a framed picture, and a statue of Jesus.
What? Damn, bro. Who steals a Jesus piece?
And I want to know the way this is written, because I know journalists don't use the Oxford comma. The Oxford comma or the serial comma, which it needs to be used. I've talked to, who was that girl, the routes? Remember when Cam Newton got Jordan Rodriguez?
Jordan Rodriguez.
And I've talked to Jordan Rodriguez about the Oxford comma. But if you look at this, let's see if you can see my highlighting. All right. So did he steal a ceremonial sword and a framed picture of Jesus and a statue of Jesus? Or was it a ceremonial sword, a framed picture of something that we don't know of, and a statue of Jesus? If it was a framed picture of Jesus and a statue of Jesus, is this a hate crime? I wonder. Those are my ice up picks.
I think so.
All right. CK, you got anything for us?
I do. I want to first ask the two of you. I know the answer for at least one of you is going to be yes. Do you know what a VTuber is?
No.
Yes. Is this about burnt peanut?
Dude, I love the burnt peanut with every fiber of my being. This dude single-handedly has saved streaming in my mind. It's been the most entertaining content creator I have watched in at least since before COVID. And he is probably the best thing that's happened to streaming since COVID. And so he is a guy who is essentially using, and now it's a little more nuanced than this now, but he started his platform being basically a phone filter that is like a peanut. Okay. Now, Tony's first thought right now is like, what the hell are we talking about?
I'm Googling it right now. Looks like a mouth, a peanut.
He's a peanut, but he's a
Tony would probably actually find him hilarious.
I'm sure I will. I'm all right.
Oh, dude, you absolutely would find him. He is our brand of humor without question. Anyway, well, he has a running joke that he is a P-tuber, not a VTuber. Under the shtick that he is an actual peanut. That's his entire thing. He is not pretending. He is playing a peanut, and that is his character, and that is who he is. And so even though he is a virtual tuber, he is a P-tuber, and he would always get angry when people would call him a VTuber as a bit, admittedly.
Right.
Well, he has had one of the most unreal ascensions to popularity over the past year than that I have ever seen. And so much so that he was nominated as Gamer of the Year for Streamer Awards, and VTuber of the Year, and FPS Player of the Year. Now, none of that means anything to you, Tony. I'm fully aware. But when he's nominated as a VTuber, he is basically in competition with a bunch of people, mainly men, who are using voice changers and have paid $30,000 for a virtual model of a female, and basically they're basically an anime girl. And so the amount he ended up winning VTuber of the Year, and the uproar in the VTuber community is so unreal that it's hard not to just completely laugh and take them. They've lost a tremendous amount of credibility in this entire interaction, because there's a dude who has he has been more entertaining. He doesn't rely solely on him being a peanut. The dude is entertaining as everything. Like, I have never seen somebody more entertaining than this dude. I will sit there and watch him and laugh hysterically, so much. So anyway, I'm just icing up this entire community of people who are anime girls getting mad that a dude most likely in his mid-30s is able to outdo them in their own category that they created to make themselves feel included. And he did it almost out of jest. So I'm icing up that entire community that got mad, and those who accepted him and didn't, make a stink about it. You guys are the real ones, and I respect you. But it's the other people that make you guys look horrible.
Yeah,
I guess sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Tony, I'm gonna have to let you watch some videos of this dude.
I've already subscribed. I'm on it.
Well, dude, now people are bringing up old videos of him where he accidentally dropped an F-bomb, and I don't mean fuck.
He got banned, and then he has been very good on his on his P's and Q's since then. Yeah. But he is the epitome of like a dude, and so it's hysterical.
Yeah. Another good recommend if you're looking for streamers is Queso. Dude, I fall asleep watching Queso streams every night. The dude is freaking hilarious, man. But
just to give you an insight, Tony, Queso won Gamer of the Year over top of the Burnt Peanuts this year.
Queso is he's like the funniest dude. Big dude with a big orange beard, just from Arkansas, real country.
Like queso, like the cheese, right?
It's spelled Kaseoh. His name is Case. But dude, it's freaking hilarious. And dude, the good thing about him, kind of getting off topic here, but it is still on topic, is he doesn't play AAA games. Like, he plays his indie horror games, and he'll play Water Park Simulator and shit. And the dude is just hilarious. Like, right now he has 52,000 people watching him. He's the man. He's hilarious. But But on that burnt peanut note, CK, do you know the comedian Tim Dillon?
Yes, I've heard this already.
Don't you think that burnt peanut sounds just like Tim Dillon?
Yes,
Like,
I mean it's
listen
an
to the-
ongoing thing, but yes, absolutely.
I
It
didn't
is-
even
it
know
is
that
very
other
funny.
people were bringing it up.
Yes.
As soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, dude, that's Tim Dillon pretending to be a streamer. Yeah, it fucking sounds just like him. Yeah.
That's the C3 Panthers podcast. We're here Tuesday nights. We'll be here Friday night for the free for all and Sunday as the Panthers take on after the Panthers Saints game. It's been real, guys. It's been fun, and we're looking for more fun ahead. Tony Dunn here with Cody Lack and CK. Cody, take us on out of here.
Beat the Saints. C3 Legion. Keep pounding.